it feels a little bit like the phrase Jewish identity is becoming a little bit hollow and becoming more of just a grant writing buzzword as opposed to something else. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Look, I think Jewish identity is in many ways shtick. I have, as Jewish communities, I'm a conservative rabbi, I have many friends in other parts of the Jewish world, and what everybody's doing right now is trying to sort of package what is important to them and say, like, these are the core values of Jewish identity. Whether it's Israel, or Holocaust education, or halakha, or Jewish day schools, sort of like, each community has their own pet projects, their own ideas of what constitutes a proper Jew.
Right.
And as long as it's a hollow word, it's going to be shtick. People are going to see through shtick. People are very smart, right? Oh, they're selling me in this event. They're selling me this kind of Jewish identity. And I think with identity, and this is of course very difficult for me as clergy. We do have to flip the equation and look at this from the outside. We do have values that we want to project as the core of Jewish identity, but let's see what's meaningful and what's appealing to other people. And when I've done that very difficult exercise of sort of stepping back and just taking people at their word, even non-Jews, right? Because of the work I do, most of the people I deal with are non-Jews who have a Jewish identity, or who want a Jewish identity, who are developing a Jewish identity. You have what you end up when you do that exercise is that different things are different are important to different communities. That you have to cultivate those specific values of the different communities, and that there is no magic formula. There is no magic formula, right? Focusing on day school education works for a certain demographic and a certain part of the country. Here in the Southwest, it's very difficult sometimes to create, for example, a Jewish day school. So if we put up all of our eggs in that basket, then we can just say, well, we can't have Jewish life here in Oklahoma City without a Jewish day school. But we do. We do have Jewish community. We have Jewish community, we have a Jewish identity. And not only are we surviving, we're blossoming. So what is that we are doing here, or what is happening south of the border that is working for us, and cultivate each of these motivations individually. Now that is very difficult because people want sort of a big project, they want a big buzzword, they want a big tent where everybody fits, and programmatically it's almost impossible to do this because of the diversity of the global Jewish community. So my only antidote for this is just sort of being generous with the term and saying, look, if lox and bagels is what's going to keep you involved, it doesn't work for my community, it doesn't work for the communities I work with, but go ahead, hey, let's invest in lox and bagels for you. And let's invest in religious education for my communities in Latin America, because that's what they want. They want to be religious, observant Jews. It's a fundraising nightmare, but I think it's we have to act locally. It sounds trite, but if we're going to conceive of a global Jewish community, we need to act on the needs of each community. Each community has different needs, have different motivations.